Wow, terrible show tonight, everybody. Terrible, pathetic show tonight. I'm the Godfather Soldiers Slimming. And name my topic tonight is called Ridiculous in Raleigh, North Carolina. Will Crown Jewel be good 1 week from this Saturday? I'm going to 1 week from this Saturday. I'm going to tell all you some other news, some news all you I just heard. Yep, that's all I'm saying there. But before I do, I'm going to show a little bit of music. I'm going to show this song called "Joy," sung by the R&B group Blackstreet from 1995. So stick around. Be right back. Get the music cracking up, a little playing, and I'll be right back. Okay, that was Joy. All you just heard by the music by R&B group Blackstreet. All you just heard. Let's get down to business tonight. I got some breaking news. All you just heard. I just heard. It's gonna really be gonna be shocking. Y'all just heard. I just heard that that Crown, the pay-per-view Crown Jewel will start at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. At 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Wait, I mean at 8. I mean at 8 a.m. in the morning. Saturday, 8 a.m. in the morning, not nighttime, but 8 not but at 8 a.m. in the morning. That's stupid. I mean, you know what else I heard? I also heard that I think it was Monday Night Raw. I think I heard. Hold on a second. Okay, and guess what else I just heard? I heard they're gonna start the morning after Crown Jewel. They're gonna start Monday night, morning edition of Monday Night Raw, the morning after Crown Jewel. They are desperate, man. They're desperate. I'm telling you, they're very desperate. They're failing. Bye bye WWE. The company's going down the river. Yeah, it's okay. Let's go down with tonight's show. Then, now, forever together. The WWE video leads us into the show. The WWE drone flies us over to Raleigh, North Carolina. We're live in the 11-0 Center. Pre-show rivals. The Usos are shown arriving at the arena earlier today. Judgment Day is shown entering the arena. They pass by Los Americanos. Rusev is walking backstage. He'll battle Dirty Dum Dum for the Intercontinental title later tonight. We go live in the 11-0 Center. Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett welcome us to the show to discuss WWE Crown Jewel, Perth, with it scheduled for October 11th. Video last week on Raw, Rhea Ripley defeated Asuka. After the match, Asuka stunned Ripley with poison mist, so Io Sky ran down for the save. Asuka then attacked her, and a reluctant Kairi Sane joined in the fight. Rhea Ripley addresses the attack by Kabuki Warriors. This is my brutality. This is my brutality. Rhea Ripley makes her way down to the ring with a massive ovation. Ripley is not her usual joyful self following the attack by the Kabuki Warriors. She looks tense as she heads to the ring, talking deep breaths intermittently as she walks. Ripley gets in the ring and says she always knew it will come to this, but there was a little part that hope that they could settle this in the ring like warriors. She thought they were. What did they do to Io Sky? What they did to Io Sky crossed the line. Aren't they the ones who claim that the Sky is their family? This is what they'll do tonight. They'll sell things in this ring. Ripley tells the Kabuki Warriors they want to come get her, come and get her. Io Sky's music hits, and a sad, dejected Sky walks down to the ring. Sky looks to be on the verge of tears, and Io chant picks up. Chant says, Sky says it breaks her heart to say this, but Ripley was right about Asuka and Kairi Sane. Ripley looks at her with compassion, and Sky says they are family, and she still loves them. The crowd boos as Sky puts her head down in sadness. Asuka and Kairi Zhang appear on the Titantron. Zhang does not appear to be on the board with Asuka. Asuka says it's up to them to what happens next. She taught Sky everything she knew. She met.
Hello, Moto.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Cam back, little interruption there. I was interruption there, everybody. Yeah. Io Sky's music hits, and Io Sky, what they did to Io Sky cross the line, aren't they the ones who claim that Sky is their family? This is what they'll do tonight. They'll sell this in the ring. Ripley tells the Kabuki Warriors to come and get her. Io Sky's music hits, and a sad, dejected Sky walks down to the ring. Sky looks on to be a verge of tears. When Io Sky chant picks up, and Sky says it breaks her heart to say this, but Ripley was right about Asuka and Kairi Zhang. Ripley looks at her with compassion. Sky says they are their family, and she still loves them. Crowd moves as Sky puts her head down in sadness. Asuka and Kairi Zhang appear to be on the Trine. Zhang does not appear to be on the board with Asuka. Asuka says it's up to them what happens next. She taught Sky everything she knew. She mentored her and paved the way for her. Now she acts like none matters. None of which then she matters. Sky acts like Rhea is her family. Rhea Ripley is her family now, but she isn't. Asuka made Sky who she is. Asuka made her a champion. Now she acts like she's forgotten her. Asuka says she loves Sky, so she'll never forgive her if she apologizes to her. She can be like Zhang and be like her student. Zhang says they can be a family again. Asuka says it's too late for Ripley. Ripley says Asuka can go to hell. Sky looks conflicted with tears welling in her eyes. Ripley tells Sky to trust her. She had been burned by family before. Sky can't go back to them after what they've done. Sky looks troubled. Ripley puts a hand on her shoulder. Sky says, "I'm sorry, Rhea. I need time. I need time." Sky starts to cry as she leaves the ring. And then bam, I never saw this one coming. Never saw that right from behind. The Kabuki Warriors attack Ripley from behind. Sky sobs as she watches Asuka and Kairi double team Ripley. Sky says she's seen enough and throws Asuka off Ripley. Zhang stands between Asuka and Sky. Zhang tries to reason with her. Zhang gets on her knees to beg Sky. As she does, Asuka hits Sky in the face with the blue mist. Zhang is shocked that Asuka did that. Ripley attacks Asuka, but Zhang pulls her off. Ripley headbutts Zhang, and she goes for the riptide, but Asuka kicks her. They send Ripley to the shoulder first twice into the ring post. With writhing in pain, Asuka and Zhang hit Ripley with a spinning fist. Asuka puts Ripley in the elbow in a lock and holds her as Zhang hits in the same elbow. The Kabuki Warriors stand tall as the crowd boos. WWE officials run down to separate them. Sky is covered in the blue mist, even straining her teeth blue. The Kabuki Warriors walk off. In commercial break, Rusev is making his entrance. He can't get in the ring yet, as the crew is still trying to change the canvas, which was stained by Asuka's blue mist. Last Monday on Raw, Dirty Dum Dum offered to help JD McDonough. JD got destroyed by Rusev. Finn Balor was furious with Mysterio. Intercontinental Championship, Rusev versus Dirty Dum Dum. Referees Eddie Orango. Yeah, the blue glistening eyes. I mean, Yeah, Kyrie Zane felt a little bit of remorse here. Felt a little bit of remorse about her actions and all that stuff. But what if this must be a setup or something? Well, I'm gonna get to that later. I mean, Yo Sky says she'll think about it. I mean, saying it's her decision whose side she's on Rhea's side or the side or she on Oscar's side or Kyrie's side. Yeah, as I was saying, okay, commercial break. Rusev is making his entrance. He can't get in the ring as yet, as the crew is trying to change the canvas, which is staying by Oscar's blue mist. Last Monday on Raw, Dirty Dum Dum offered no help to JD McDonough as he got destroyed by Rusev. Finn Balor was furious with Mysterio. Intercontinental Championship, Rusev versus Dirty Dum Dum. Referees Eddie Rango. The World Tag Team Champions Finn Balor and JD McDonough escorted Dirty Dum Dum to the ring before leaving him. Mysterio's AA Mega Championship will not be on the line. The bell rings, and Mysterio grabs a wrist lock. Rusev easily slings him. So Mysterio gets out of the ring to rethink his strategy. Rusev chases him into the ring. Mysterio stomps him and punches Rusev, and he gets in the ring. Mysterio hits the ropes and hits a forearm. But Rusev absorbs it. Mysterio hits the ropes again, but Rusev follows him and avalanches him. Rusev hits a forward slam followed by a head and an arm suplex. Rusev hits a second arm and second head and arm suplex. Mysterio retreats to the corner. Rusev pulls him up and punches him down. Rusev throws him into the ropes. Rusev throws him into the ropes. Yeah, Rusev throws him into the ropes and charges, but Mysterio pulls the top rope down to get him get him out of the ring. Mysterio knocks him off the ring apron and goes for a plancha. Rusev hits him with a flyweight slam over the commentary table. Then we go to commercial break. Back from break, Mysterio knees out of a submission hold. Mysterio hits a jawbreaker and hits the ropes. Mysterio ducks a pair of clotheslines and hits a running Hurricanrana. Mysterio avalanches him in a corner. Rusev reverses a whip into the opposite corner, but Mysterio twists out of the way. Mysterio stamps Rusev off the top rope and hits a slingshot summer plancha for a 1 count. The crowd is really into Mysterio. Mysterio hooks Rusev's head and sets up for the Three Amigos, but he can get Rusev off his feet. Rusev charges, but Mysterio drops him into the position. Mysterio hits for a 619. Rusev turns him inside out with a clothesline. Rusev gets clothesline, but the crowd boos as Rusev as he stomps the mat the signal for an accolade. Mysterio rolls out of the ring to avoid it. Rusev follows him out of the ring, so Mysterio drives him ribs first into the ring steps. Mysterio gets him into the ring and hits him with a 619 to the ribs. Mysterio puts him in a position and hits a 619, This time to the face. Mysterio goes for a top rope for a frog splash, but Rusev moves. Rusev kicks up an Intercontinental Champion and connects with a matcha kick. 1-2. Mysterio kicks out. Rusev is irate and screams that it's over. Rusev goes for the accolade, but Mysterio slides out of the ring and Mysterio grabs his titles and starts to walk off. Rusev stops, throws him out into the ring with the titles, but the referee takes the AA Mega Championship away from Rusev. As he does, Mysterio hits him with the Intercontinental Championship. Rusev no sells it, so Mysterio tosses it to take him to the bump. The old Eddie Guerrero lie, cheat, and steal move. The referee isn't buying it. And he does. Mysterio hits him with an Intercontinental Champion. Rusev no sells it, so Mysterio tosses it to him and takes a bump. The old Eddie Guerrero lie, cheat, and steal move. The referee isn't buying it. Mysterio begs the referee into the corner. As he does, Rusev grabs him as Mysterio catches him with a mule kick, low blow, and rolls him up for the win. The referee couldn't see it since he was pressed into the corner. Winner by pinfall and still WWE Intercontinental Champion, Dirty Dum Dum. Rusev is furious as Mysterio retreats up the ramp with his titles. The Raw General Manager's office. Raw General Manager Aaron Pierce is talking with LA Knight. Pierce is trying to convince Knight not to get involved in the tornado tag match. Knight says he doesn't care about the match because he wants the world title. He said he's the last man to beat Seth Rollins. The New Day bursts into the room and Knight tries to dismiss them. But Kofi Kingston says he is a former world champion and tells him, let the adults talk. Knight says he'll drop Kingston tonight and walks off. Kingston says he won't because he doesn't make matches, but Pierce makes it official. Parking garage. Cody Rhodes' bus is shown in the parking garage. We're going to go commercial break. Commentaries talk about the upcoming WWE podcast for this week. The history of Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Last Monday on Raw, Bayley asked Lyra to be in her corner. Bayley defeated Roxanne Perez and then snapped on Valkyria. After the match, Valkyria was confused. Bayley was walking backstage when she bumps into Valkyria. Lyra is cautious about her. Bayley says she has a right to be mad. She's been going through a lot lately. It's not Valkyria's fault. Bayley doesn't think she can do this without her. Valkyrie says she doesn't know doesn't know what this is or what she's doing. She can't give Bayley any second more chances, and walks off. Sadly, Bayley walks off. Bayley makes her entrance. She'll be action next. Commercial break. Zuffa Boxing is launching in January 2026. Here we go with this match here. Bayley versus Raquel Rodriguez with Roxanne Perez. Referee is Jessica Carr. Bailey looks unsure of herself as the bell rings. As the bell rings to start, Bailey looks unsure of herself as the bell rings to start the match. She looks up at the alleyway as for Lyra Valkyrie, but she isn't coming. Bailey gets herself pumped up as she goes for it after Rodriguez, but she can't take her down. Bailey ducks a clothesline. She goes for a running crossbody, but Rodriguez catches her. Bailey fights out and slingshots her over. Bailey hits the ropes, but Rodriguez shoulder tackles her. Bailey sidesteps an avalanche and hits the 10 punches in the corner. Rodriguez fires back and with a powerbomb attempt, but Bailey slides off and hits a jawbreaker. Bailey hits a side headlock and scales the ropes. But Rodriguez throws her off. Rodriguez sends Bailey to the corner and hits a running shoulder thrust. Rodriguez bounces her off the top turnbuckle and stomps her. Rodriguez whips her hard in the corner and Bailey collapses. Rodriguez grabs her, but Bailey fights back. Rodriguez quickly gets her in the corner and hits a corner clothesline. Rodriguez elbows away at her. Bailey fights back and slings her onto the apron before snapping her off the ropes. Bailey connects with a suicide dive before sliding around the corner with a drop kick. Bailey goes for a diving hurricane off the apron, but Rodriguez catches her and slings her into the barricade. You come back from a break to see Bailey dropkick Rodriguez out of the ring and leap off the steel steps. Rodriguez catches her. Bailey fights back and does the Hardy Boy stomp before hitting a twist of fate on the floor. Bailey gets Rodriguez on the ring and stares her down with a diving elbow for doing a top rope for a swanton bomb to pick up a 2 count. Bailey continues to fight, but Rodriguez hits her with a fallaway slam. Rodriguez hits a slingshot splash for a near fall. Rodriguez slaps the mat in frustration. They have a major communication before he shouts clothesline and takes a clothesline from Rodriguez. Bailey takes her down and soon takes her down and applies a figure 4 leg lock, paying tribute to North Carolina's own famous wrestler Roxanne Perez. Bailey eyes to help Rodriguez. Bailey Rodriguez hits Bailey with a clothesline followed by a Tejana bomb for the win. Winning by pinfall, Raquel Rodriguez. The Judgment Day starts to double team Bailey, and before Lyra Valkyrie reluctantly makes the save, Rodriguez hits Perez with a clothesline, attacking Rodriguez. Rodriguez quickly takes Valkyrie down. Perez falls up with a cartwheel, double knee to the neck. Bailey starts to snap the Rodriguez knees Rodriguez in the face before punching away at her. Bailey Perez with a swinging net back suplex hitting Rodriguez with a clothesline over the top rope. A furious Bailey looks back at Valkyrie cackling and helping Valkyrie up. Bailey shouts, "Come on, you idiot! Get him! Good job!" Valkyrie looks confused. Last week at Jay Uso, LA Knight left him for dead with a vision. Jimmy Uso made the save. Jay Uso is pacing when his brother Jimmy Uso walks up to him. Jimmy asks him about last week. Jay says helping LA Knight will get them nowhere. He cost them the match at WrestlePalooza. Jay says they will be no longer help Knight. If he spent less time helping Knight, he'll be in the world champion again. That's something that Jimmy knows nothing about. Jay realizes what he just said and redirects, and they'll handle the division tonight. Tonight, yeah. WWE medical officer. W officials are checking on Io Sky. Kairi Sane walks in and begs Sky to apologize to Asuka. They can still be friends. Sky tells her to leave her alone. Sadly, he ends and unfolds of them with Asuka at happier times. Yeah, all the members. LA Knight makes his entrance. He'll face Kofi Kingston next. And go to commercial break. LA Knight versus Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods. The referee is Danilo Afibio. The bell rings and Kofi shoves LA Knight. Kingston shoves him back. The referee manages them. He locked up and Knight powers him to a corner. Kingston turns around and goes for a right hand, but Knight blocks it. Knight fights back and flips through a clothesline before hitting a suplex into a net breaker for a 1 count. Knight quickly hits back an elbow to take Kingston down. Kingston fights back and takes him down before kicking him in the ribs. Kingston applies an armbar and paintbrushes the head. Knight fights up and punches out. Knight hits the ropes, but Kingston turns him inside out with a kitchen sink knee to the midsection for a 2 count. Kingston applies an over-the-head wrist lock. Knight fights up, but Kingston knees him. Knight quickly wrenches the arm and pulls it on a few times before hitting a short arm clothesline. Knight charges, but Kingston hits a flapjack onto the rope. Kingston charges, but Knight hits a cross back body drop out of the ring. Knight bounces Kingston's face off the barricade for several times. Xavier shouts out for Knight to start. Knight positions Kingston on the apron, and elbows him before scaring Woods off. Woods pulls himself up over the top rope with a drop kick to Knight. Kingston drives Knight's face into the ring post before mocking Knight, hitting a splash off the apron. Commercial break. We return from the break to see Knight fighting back at Kingston. We quickly sweeps his feet as he slides out of the ring. Kingston heads to the top rope and hits a diving tomahawk chop for a 2 count. Kingston chokes Knight in on the ropes until the referee's backs him up. The referee gets a cheap shot in, allowing Kingston to get a 2 count. Knight fights back with some body blows. Knight kicks back and pushes him into the ropes. Something happens as Kingston drops it down. Looks like Knight knees clips him in the head. Kingston is wobbling at ringside after that legit knee. Knight shoves him into the barricade and gets him in the ring. The referee checks on Kingston as Knight hits a slingshot shoulder tackle. Knight sends him into the corner before hitting a jumping neck breaker. Knight goes to the second rope and does some theatrics. And leaps off with a clothesline to Woods on the apron. Kingston rolls Knight up to get his feet on the ropes, but Knight kicks out. Kingston hits a pendulum kick before coming off the top rope, but Knight moves. Knight avoids the trouble in paradise. Kingston flips through the back suplex, but Knight immediately comes back with a blunt force trauma for the win. Winner by pinfall, LA Knight. Replay. Last Friday on SmackDown, Randy Orton saved the undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes from the Vision. Backstage segment, you see. At Cara Tozawa and Max Dupree are talking to him backstage when Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch confronts them. Lynch says Dupree is a failure. Dupree says Lynch says she's the greatest. Lynch points out that Sports Illustrated and Bleacher also think so, but AJ Lee doesn't. Tozawa snickers, so Lynch punches him in the face and walks off. Dupree checks on Tozawa, so Lynch attacks her from behind. Lynch walks off and sees her husband. He had a whore and his dipshit husband, World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins. She asks if she's okay and needs Paul Heyman. Yeah, that fat piece of shit. Rollins says he needs this to do this on their own. Okay, go commercial break. World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins addresses his crown jewel match against Undisputed WWE Champion Crown Cody Rhodes. Burn it down. World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins makes his way into the ring, look down and watch that Cody Rhodes gave him following their epic string of matches in 2022. Rollins questions the intentions of the watch last week on Raw. Rollins listens to the crowd and sings the song. Before Rollins can speak, a loud CM Punk chant picks up. Rollins goes to speak again, but is stopped by an OTC chant. The crowd then starts to sing Cody Rhodes' name. Rollins says Cody Rhodes versus Seth freaking Rollins. Rollins says 3 wins, and Rollins has 3 losses. Losses. Rhodes thinks that bothers him, but it doesn't because it doesn't matter. But it doesn't because it doesn't matter. Those matches were in the past. Those versions of Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins are in the past. Those men were trying to reach the top. What matters is Crown Jewel because now you've got 2 men at the very top of the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship. It will go 1-on-1 in Crown Jewel. The winner of that match won't just win Crown Jewel Championship. The winner will shape the next 10 or 20 of the industry's future. The one thing, the thing that Cody Rollins doesn't understand is that there are some people out in the crowd and watching at home who want Cody Rhodes. A Cody chant picks up. The people who sing for him want Rhodes to win that match. They think Rhodes should lead his company into the future. They believe he is the quarterback of the WWE. Yeah, right. Rollins asks if they have lost their minds. Rollins is the one to lead this industry in the future. You're old news, man. You're old news. Rollins says he has done everything. He stayed here through times it got tough. He brought this company into its golden age. He's taken to 2 young men, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and taking them under his wing, giving them his knowledge to secure the place at their top. Rollins has done it all. Rollins has tried to get rid of cancers like Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Still, they chant for Cody Rhodes. Shut up, Seth. Just shut the fuck up. Tell Becky to go back to Leprechaun Land where she come from. Wrestling has worn more than one war family. Here comes the undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes makes his way to the ring. Rhodes takes his time getting into the ring and removes his jacket. The crowd sings to Cody Rhodes, so he pauses. Rollins looks disconnected. Rhodes asks what is Rollins talking about. The future of the industry seems a bit much. They have control over that. The people do. This isn't something they can control. Rollins can bring Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed under his ring, but he can't control them. They appeared on SmackDown, which is their show. Rhodes doesn't think Rollins sent them. He thinks Mr. Heyman did. When it comes to Rollins' group, who's in control? Rollins says every decision goes through him. Rollins sent them from SmackDown. Rhodes Rhodes didn't receive this message on Raw. So he sent them to SmackDown to see if they can get them through the message through his brain. Rose asked if he was the one who allowed Mr. Heyman to announce Brock Lesnar. Rollins was conflicted about that. Rollins smirks and retaliates that decision runs through him. The crowd chants something, so Rollins yells at them, that he's the reason they're here. Rose says he's trying to have fun here. Rose says he's trying to have fun here. They should just strip this down to what it's supposed to be about. The Crown Jewel Championship in Perth, Australia. The WWE champion against the World Heavyweight champion. It could be that simple. Rose would like to think that they'll be in 20 years. They'll be sitting in the back talking about the future of the industry, reminiscing their matches. Could it be wishful thinking? Rose remembers Rollins standing there to help him win WrestleMania 40. Everything was forgiven. Thought Rollins was his friend. Rollins tells him to shut up. No, you shut up. Rollins says, I was never your friend. The lesser what the was means to an end. And at WrestleMania 40, Rose was the lesser of two evils. That little scenario about the future will never happen. They'll never be friends. Rollins will never shake Rose's hand, calling the better man over his equal. What he will do is cleanse the timeline at Crown Jewel. Everything that happened between them is dead. After Crown Jewel, Rollins will write a new future. There is only one person who will lead that vision. That is Seth freaking Rollins. Rollins stares at Rose before walking off. But that's what you think. That's what you think, you arrogant piece of shit. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. They're back. Okay, we see backstage segment. Ripley checks on ES Sky, who is still conveyed in blue. Sky says she talked to Adam Pearce at Crown Jewel. They'll take on Kabuki Warriors. Ripley asks if she's okay with that. She saw Sky talking to Kairi Sane and wondered if she can trust Sky. Says Sane is lost. Sky can't go back to them. Ripley agrees and hugs her. Sky winces in pain from the mist. AJ Styles, who will face John Cena for the final time at Crown Jewel, will be in tag team action next. Go to commercial break. Raw from Dallas, Texas, will start at 8. From Dallas, let's go back starting at 8 p.m. Oh, that's right, 8 p.m. Why am I? Yeah, go back from 8 p.m. Eastern. Oh boy, they're desperate. Dragon Lee's in the ring with AJ Styles. Lee says it's an honor to share the ring with AJ Styles. They are fine. Dragon Lee's in the ring with AJ Styles. Dragon Lee says it's an honor to share the ring with AJ Styles. They are fine. They are unstoppable. Last week they become #1 contender for the AA Mega Championship. That means he's coming for Dirty Dum Dum. Styles says they have something special going on. Maybe they can win some titles. Styles hopes Lee can kick Mysterio's teeth in. Styles has a match at Crown Jewel. Thanks to the fans, the match is against John Cena. Styles thanks the crowd because he gets to do something he loves. Get to beat up John Cena. Tonight they kick Los Americanos' asses. Tag team match. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Los Americanos, Rayo Americano and Bravo Americano. El Grande Americano. Referee is Ray Rod Zapata. Bravo Americano starts with Dragon Lee. Lee stands Bravo into the ropes and encounters a sunset flip attempt with a double stomp. Los Americanos quickly crotch Lee into the ring post to hit him with stereo drop kicks. Back from the break, Los Americanos double team Lee. Bravo takes it to Lee, but Lee eventually gets away. Lee tags in. Takes it to Rayo Americano with a strike combo before taking Bravo down. Styles hits a sliding forearm on Ray before being dropped on the apron. Styles knocks him back. Rayo grabs the referee. Referee as Grande Americano gets a cheap shot in AJ Styles. Dragon Lee takes Rio down. Bravo takes Lee down. Styles takes Bravo down before taking El Grande Americano down with a forearm plancha. Lee Styles hits Rayo with a phenomenal forearm. Lee hits super kicks Bravo for launching him to Styles. Lee hits Rayo with a summer stomp, suntown plancha in the ring. Ring Styles hits Bravo with a Styles clash for the win. Wins by pinfall, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. Next week, CM Punk will return to Raw. Women's Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupri. And a man whore. Lyra Valkyrie versus Roxanne Perez again. Video Crown Jewel Championship. Locker room injury. Kathy Kelly is with Women's World Champion Stephanie McCare. She says Tiffany Stratton will be defeated. She'll be the Crown Jewel Champion. SmackDown Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton says she's not going to lose someone who has been on top for 2 weeks at Crown Jewel. It's Tiffy time. Women on SmackDown Crown Jewel. SmackDown Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton will battle Women's World Champion Stephanie Vicari in the Women's Crown Jewel Championship in Perth, Australia on October 11th. Arena Concourse. A group of fans surrounds the Usos as they make their entrance. The main event is next. We can go to commercial break. Gorilla position. Division is backstage in gorilla position. Referee Paul Heyman think wherever champion Seth Rollins looks to be in a trance. Paul Heyman asks if he's okay. Rawson desperately says he has to beat him. Heyman goes to affirm him, but Rollins stops him from speaking. Rollins says, "No, Paul, I have to beat him." Heyman looks concerned before leaving to accompany Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to the ring. The Tornado Tag Team match: Usos, Jimmy Uso, and main event Jey Uso versus Vision. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed versus Paul Heyman. Referee Sean Bennett. Jey Uso catches Division with Plancha as they make their entrance. Jey sends Reed into the ring post. Breaker attacks Jimmy in the ring. Shoulder attack shoulders him in the corner. Jimmy slingshots him over and kicks him in the midsection for a hitting uppercut. Jimmy presses Baker into the corner, and Jey avalanches him. Reed runs in, and the Usos go back and forth punching him. They do some theatrics before punching Reed down in the corner. Reed and Breaker are seated in opposite corners. The Usos get the crowd going and hit them with running hip attacks. The Usos hit Breaker with a clothesline over the top rope, and they hit the ropes. But Reed pulls them out of the ring. Jey gets in the ring and Breaker clotheslines him down. Breaker punches Jey and Reed takes it to Jimmy at ringside. Ringside. Breaker knocks Jey out of the ring and sizes Jimmy up. Jey kicks Breaker off the apron. Jimmy sends Breaker over the barricade, and Reed thwarts a suicide dive from Jey and sends him into the ring steps. Reed blocks a kick from Jimmy and clears the commentary table. Reed sets up a jagged edge on Jimmy on the commentary table. Jimmy slides off the super kicks Reed off the table. Breaker then dives off the barricade with a diving clothesline on Jimmy through the commentary table. Commercial break. Back from the break, Jimmy is trying to defend himself against the Division. They're overwhelming him. Jimmy is still down in the wreckage of the table. Jimmy rips Jey's t-shirt off as Breaker talks trash to the camera. Breaker rips at Jey's face. Jey says to the corner, but Jey boots him back. Jey kicks Breaker and goes to the second rope. Reed catches a crossbody attempt and hits a world's strongest slam. Reed pulls Jey up and hits Breaker and hits the ropes and on wild speed for a clothesline. Division, it hits a electric chair bulldog combo. Breaker positions Jey as Reed hits a double stomp Jimmy hits Jimmy super kicks Breaker and ducks a clothesline, hits a wild pop up Samoan drop. Jimmy hits the second top rope, but Reed pulls him down for a jagged edge. Breaker hits Jay with a huge spear. They stack Usos at each other, and Reed hits a hit as Reed hits the top rope. Roman Reigns music hits the OTC. Roman Reigns comes out with a steel chair in hand. We haven't seen Roman and Reigns since the beating at Clash in Paris. Reigns hits a breaker with a back body drop over the top rope and squares off against the tribal chief Bronson Reed. Reed hits Reigns hits Reed with a midsection with a steel chair and smacks it off his back twice, knocking him out of the ring. Reigns follows him out of the ring and smashes him twice with a steel chair, fights and knocks him to the barricade. You know, this is what there's something I forgot to mention. I think Io Sky is setting Rhea up. Think about it. The mist in the eyes wasn't real. It was an act by Asuka, Kairi, and herself. I think Io is turning on Rhea Ripley at Crown Jewel and aligning back with her buddies, her friends, Asuka and Kairi Sane. I think this might be a ruse. I think Kairi Sane's acting. She feels guilty about stabbing Io Sky in the back. I think they're acting. They're all setting. I think this might be a setup. They're setting. I think we're gonna see a Kabuki Warriors real heel turn this time. I think that Io Sky is gonna go back at heel at Crown Jewel. Yeah, Roman Reigns' music hits. The OTC. Roman Reigns comes out with a steel chair in here. You haven't seen Roman Reigns since the beating at Clash in Paris. Reigns hits Breaker with a back body drop over the top rope and squares off against the tribal thief Bronson Reed. Reigns hits Reed in the bench section with a chair and smacks it off his back twice, knocking him out of the ring. Reigns follows him out of the ring and smashes him with a chair twice, knocking him over the barricade. Breaker tries to attack Reigns, but Reigns hits him with a steel chair. The crowd is loudly buzzing for Reigns. Jimmy suitcase Breaker before Jay hits him with a spear. The Usos head to the top rope on the opposite sides. They hit Breaker with a double Uso splash. Jay covers for the win. Wins by pinfall the Usos. Reigns quickly gets under the ring and smashes the edge of the chair into the sternum of Breaker. Reigns then smashes off on his back to knock him out of the ring. Reigns stands tall in the ring and embraces Jay. Reigns gets him fired up as Jimmy Uso watches on. That was a bad show tonight, but the ending was okay, but it was a terrible show tonight. Real terrible show tonight. Terrible. I think Crown Jewel is not going to be looking that good. Okay, now I got that away. Now I know what it's time for. It's time for hold on one second. on 1 second. Okay, it is not okay. That was saying all you know it's time for. It's time for. It's time for Justin's Time History, all wrestling birthdays, pop culture, and all that stuff. All you gotta think is from Back to the Future style Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. All of you just heard. Celebrate his 40th anniversary on July 3rd, 2025. Movie was released July 3rd, 1985. Let's get down to business. Let's go to Saturday, September the 20th. Okay, Ortiz turns 34 last Saturday. And Japanese wrestler Ricky Fuji turns 60 last Saturday. And see, pop culture couple movies released in 1985. A movie, Invasion USA, starring Chuck Norris, Agnes of God, starring Jane Fonda and Anne Bancroft and Meg Tilly. The Disney movie Journey That Again, starring Meredith Salinger and John Cusack. And Maxie, starring Glenn Close and Manny Patinkin, was released. And let's see what else. And let's see now. Okay. Yesterday was a happy wrestling birthday. Yesterday was a happy birthday. It's a happy 62nd birthday to Steve Blackman, Lethal Weapon. I believe he should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Jason Jordan turned 37 yesterday. Wrestler Jenny, Indian British wrestler Jenny Sanhu. She turned 36. Okay, in 2015 we lost a wrestler named Axel Dieter Sr. See what else. Okay, 1985. On Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling. Episode was called Gorilla Mind Dreams. When Andre Giant is wrongfully accused of stealing a precious jewel thief at a costume party, Hulk Hogan and the gang go on a mission to prove his innocence. Oh that's in on the episode called The Wrestler's Clothes. Andre Giant does not have anything to wear to Wendy's high school reunion, so they use a tent to make him an outfit. Junkyard Dog, Wendy, and Tito are leading a scout troop, but one of the members is Moolah troublemaking niece. Scouting lesson. See, hold on a second. Yeah, that was and now on WWF Championship Wrestling. On WWF Championship Wrestling, Pedro Morales, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Tito Santana defeated Chuck Ringley and Moon Spock and Tiger Chun Lee. Adorable Adrian John Jimmy Hart defeated Jim Young. Jungle Jim Young, I think, yeah. Nikolai Volkov and Iron Sheik with Freddie Blassie defeated Jose Luis Rivera and Sal Gee. Paul Orner defeated Gino Carabello. Ivan Putski and Lenny Poffo defeated Joe Murdo and Mike Gola. Jesse Dubai Ventura and the Macho Man Randy Savage with Miss Elizabeth defeated Mario Mancini with Mike Rice. In Superclass, the first ever Superclass took place in Chicago, Illinois, performed by the AWA. Comiskey Park, Chicago, Illinois, with over 21,000 were in attendance. Steve Regal defeated Brad Renegans in the AWA Light Heavyweight Championship. Little Tokyo defeated Little Mr. T. Sherry Martel defeated Candy Devine with AW for becoming the new AW World Women's Champion. Bill Mascaras defeated Buddy Rogers. Gino Tenshiro and Giant Baba defeated Jumbo Chessery defeated Bill Irwin and Harley Race and Scott Irwin 6-person tag. Kerry Von Erich defeated Jimmy Garvin. World Championship, World WCCW Texas Heavyweight Championship. Ivan Koloff and Crusher Krusev and Nakia Cole defeated Brown Van Rush and Dick the Bruiser with Nick Bruiser and Crusher. 6-person tag match. Sergeant Slaughter defeated Boris Zukroff in the AWA America's Championship. Jerry Crusher Blackwell defeated Kamala in the Body Slam match. Kurt Hennig and Greg Gagne and Scott Hall defeated Larry Sabisco and Nick Bockwinkel and Ray Stevens. In 6-person tag, the Road Warriors defeated Michael Hayes and Terry Gordon with the AWA Tag Team titles. Rick DeMille, Martel, and Stan Hansen fought in the draw for the double DQ. AW World Heavyweight Championship, and the Nature Boy Ric Flair defeated Magnum TA and NWA World Heavyweight title. And on 1985, the Spectrum. At the Spectrum. Yeah, Philadelphia Spectrum, 1985. The first time, you see, well, let's see. Philadelphia Spectrum, 19,710 were in attendance. Moondog Spot defeated Rick McGraw at 16:24. SD Jones defeated AJ Peruzzi. King Kong Bundy defeated Steve Gatorwolf. Scott McGee defeated Rene Goulet. Roddy Piper and Bob Orton defeated Paul Orndorff and Bruno Sammartino. Don Morocco defeated Ricky Dragostino via DQ. King Tonga defeated Barrio. And WWE Champion, the first time ever before they became the Mega Powers, WWE Champion Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage defeated the Macho Man Randy Savage. These two become tag team partners, better friends, better enemies. Become the two of them feuding, and God rest their souls. Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage and Miss Elizabeth. So many legends in our history. And today WWE is just crap. And on Monday Night Raw. John Cena and Xavier Woods. John Cena defeated Xavier Woods by DQ to retain the U.S. title. Big E, Kofi Kingston. Big E and Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods defeated John Cena and Dudley Boyz. Big Show defeated Mark Henry. Team Bella defeated Team PCB. Out the night before live at MSG. Yeah, Charlotte, Team Bella, Nikki Brie Bella, and Alicia Fox defeated Team PCB, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch and Paige. Until Paige did it again. Walked out on Team PCB. Luke Harper and Braun Strowman defeated Primetime Players. Neville versus Starter ended in no contest. Randy Orton defeated Bo Dallas. Kevin Owens versus Summer Rae. Kevin Owens versus Rusev with Summer Rae ended in no contest. Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt ended in a double count out. Then Charlotte and Becky Page called out Paige on Miz TV until they Paige turned on them again. And Cage underwent a human resources evaluation. And Big Show confronted the fat piece of shit Wallace Paul Heyman. And let's see, football. Monday Night Football. Green Bay Packers beat the Kansas City Chiefs 38-28. Okay. Birthdays today, September 29th. To Jerry, turns 55 today. Stacey Carter, Stacey, the ex-wife of Jerry King Lawler, she turns 55 today. And Skandar Akbar, he would have been wrestler Skandar Akbar, he turns 91 today. Yeah, he died on August 19, 2010 of prostate cancer. David Sammartino, he turns 65 today. The son of the late Bruno Sammartino, WWE Hall of Famer. And on this day in 1985, All American Wrestling, hosted by Lord Alfred Hayes. Bret the Hitman Hart, the Road Warriors, Bret the Hitman Hart and Jim Dean Van Neidhart, with Jimmy Hart defeated Gary Starr and Paul Roman. King Tonga defeated Bigfoot. Lenny Poffo and George Wells defeated the Moonstalk Spot and AJ Peruzzi. And on this day in 1985 on television, 3 shows debuted. MacGyver on ABC. And Amazing Stories, created by Steven Spielberg, and Alfred Hitchcock Presents on NBC. Yeah, very good show. Really good show, man. Really good shows. Yeah, hold on a second, sorry. Wait. Yeah, I want hear the theme songs. One of the best TV shows of the '80s.
Okay, and guess what else?
Oh, sorry. Hold on a second.
Wow.
Hold on a second. Yep. Listen to it here. Here it is. All of you. Yeah, here it is. Listen to it. Wow, terrible show tonight, everybody. Terrible, pathetic show tonight. I'm the Godfather Soldier Slimming, and then my topic tonight is called Ridiculous in Raleigh, North Carolina. Will Crown Jewel be good 1 week from this Saturday? I'm going to 1 week from this Saturday. I'm going to tell all you some other news, some news all of you I just heard. Yep. That's all I'm saying there. But before I do, I'm going to show a little bit of music. I'm going to show this song called Joy, sung by the R&B group Blackstreet from 1995. So stick around. Be right back. Get the music cracking up a little, playing, and I'll be right back. Okay, that was Joy. All you just heard by the music by R&B group Black Street. All you just heard. Let's get down to business tonight. I got some breaking news. All you just heard. I just heard. It's gonna really gonna be shocking. Y'all just heard. I just heard that Crown, the pay-per-view Crown Jewel will start at 7:30 a.m. in the morning. At 7:30 a.m. in the morning. Wait, I mean at 8. I mean at 8 a.m. in the morning. Saturday, 8 a.m. in the morning. Not nighttime, but 8 not but at 8 a.m. in the morning. That's stupid. I mean, you know what else I heard? I also heard that I think it was Monday Night Raw. I think I heard. Hold on a second. Yep, three shows that debuted on primetime television. All you just heard. I know a good friend of mine from Pittsburgh remember watching out these shows. Very good shows, because he grew up in the '80s. And see what else in pop culture movies released in theaters. See. Let's see. My favorite Disney movie, The Big Green, was released in theaters, starring Steve Guttenberg and Olivia Dabo. British actress Olivia Dabo from the TV's The Wonder Years was in that movie. Halloween Curse, Michael Myers, the sixth installment of the Halloween series, starring Paul Rudd and the late Donald Pleasence's final film role. Moonlight and Valentino, starring Whoopi Goldberg, Elizabeth Perkins, Whoopi Goldberg, John Bon Jovi, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Kathleen Turner was released. And Still Big, Still Little, starring Andy Garcia, Alan Arkin, and Richard Tickleton, was released in theaters. And a really good movie here called Devil in Blue Dress, starring Denzel Washington, Tom Sizemore, Don Cheadle, and Jennifer Beals from Footloose was released in theaters. And Poppy Montgomery from mystery drama Raleigh Trace was released. TV show Raleigh Trace was released. And see what else. This day in 2015 on WWE Total Divas. It's a 4th season finale. John Cena and Nikki Bella discussing their future and the possibility of having children, and Dolph Ziggler confessing his lingering feelings for Nikki Bella to her. Also, on the date, a bonus clip was released where the Divas discussed Eva Marie's recoming debut at NXT, WWE NXT. And see what else. Okay, on Monday Night Football, the Denver Broncos defeated Green Bay Packers 23-13. And that's it. That will do all that, and that will do for my review. All my history and birthdays, and now it's late chat. Now it's late chat Henshaw used to say, dress up at cheddar checker singing like dress up at cheddar checker singing learn what you dance like James Brown. Like again, the hot tub, gonna be sweat, gonna be dry, gonna be wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing an impression of James Brown on Saturday Night Live. I never grew up in the 80s, I grew up in the 90s, but I was singing old school Saturday Night Live when I was little. My mom told me everything about days and everything else. And because that's I grew up in the 90s, and I never saw grew up in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. I saw reruns of Saturday Night Live on Comedy Central, old school Saturday Night Live on Comedy Central. So that'll do it for my show tonight. Now see what see close out with tonight. See I'm gonna close out the show. See what see. I'm gonna close out the show with a song called see called Shy Guy by Diana King from the Bad Boy soundtrack. So hope all of you good night, and I'm out of here.
I don't want no fly.